It's time for Q&A Part 3! Yes, we are continuing with even more questions, and with 2 Q&A videos out of the way of over 50 minutes of questions and answers. Man, things are insane with that much of talking me. But still, there's even more to do. Even more questions being delivered on those videos. So let's get right to it and try to cut through them. And start off with a very scary question. Ollies, why do you hate spiders? Is it the 8 legs? It's nothing to do with the legs. I was quite fine with spiders up until this point in time where one that wouldn't fit into a pint glass got on me while I was in bed, you know, lying back, reclining, sleeping, and not wearing anything as you do in bed. You're not wearing much, and it was just there on my chest. And it was massive. And I jumped, and it jumped higher, probably because of me. And then I legged it out of the room and went, what? And then I looked back in the room as it came out from the wardrobe behind, like, above where my head was before. Just like, yeah, I just did that. And since then I've been morbidly afraid of them. It's just the encounter of one really massive one. One that you couldn't really fit into a pint glass safely without kind of de-legging it a little bit. That's basically why I'm not that thrilled with spiders as a whole. So we'll go past that question now. I just don't like them. There was one really bad encounter, and that has just set me up for a fear of them. It's brilliant. Where did you come up with the name Ollisandri? There's been a video done on this back in my Black Ops era. I think it was my 1-year anniversary on YouTube video. You could search it up or some. I guess I could put a link, to be honest, if you guys don't mind watching me play some Black Ops in an incredibly slow and boring fashion, I'm sure. I don't know how I was playing back then, but still. Yes, it's all explained there. Long story short, it was due to a relationship, a forum with story writing along the lines of the Final Fantasy universe. Yes, I know that sounds weird. And basically, I had to make a name. And it was the name of a kingdom, as it were, like a separate state, an isle. And you know the one Alexandria, which is an existent one, and it is an existent place in the world. But I just basically took Alexandria and cut it down and changed it a little bit, and then Ollisandria was born, and then it's had many incarnations. It's had a storied history through the internet, you could say. In fact, there's loads of copycats of it now, but if you want to hear more about it, check that video. It's more I'm going to say. Right, what's your favourite Pokemon, and are you planning to play any other Pokemon games? I'm probably not planning to play any more Pokemon games for the time being, at the very least. I've got to gear up for subscriber battles, after all. What's my favourite Pokemon? I think people would say, well, before it was kind of Articuno, now it's more or less leaning towards Gardevoir. I think people know my attachment to my Gardevoir is like proper like Ash and Pikachu levels, surely. Surely. Okay, next question, we're getting through them. What's your favourite anime? That's a good question. Lately, the last anime I've watched was Shingeki no Kyojin, which is Attack on Titan, if you guys have read the manga or anything like that. A very pretty cool series, let's put it that way. I actually read a lot more manga than I watch anime. Just because. Other anime I like is Gintama. Why do you think that thing has a white wig on it? It's because a certain lady who's breeding Froakies over there thought, yeah, let's buy you a Gin wig, without buying you the costume or anything.
It's all just insurance in case you go bald.
Yeah, insurance in case I go bald, if you can hear her. She's mean. She's just mean. She taunts me with presents. It's horrible. But yeah, I like Gintama. I like a lot of the bigger kind of stuff. A lot of stuff that's finished, like Bakuman. Those kind of things. I read a lot of manga more than I watch anime. The last anime I watched was Shingeki no Kyojin, and I anxiously await each chapter update every month, so I can learn more from the kind of mysteryness that's been, well, left for us, as it were. Not many answers, but more questions all the time kind of manga. Right, are you going to focus on game series, or are you going to do something random like Beyond Good and Evil? Random example, not a suggestion, I swear. I'm sure that is completely a random example. No, I'm fine with that. Are you going to focus on game series? The reason I kind of stick with Zelda is just because, well, as I said, there's series I very much like, Zelda, Tales, and Final Fantasy. You kind of let's play games that you know you're gonna like, you know you're gonna enjoy, so that it doesn't, like, the Let's Play doesn't end up so much of a drag as you're going through it. I mean, I don't think you'd be wanting to watch someone going, oh yeah, we're doing some stuff now, and and like, I'm not interested in it, that kind of thing. That's why I kind of stick to certain series, just because I know that I'm going to enjoy them. At this point in time, we're getting into a fair bit of Zelda games that I haven't actually played through, so I'm kind of excited to play ones that I have no knowledge of, rather than ones that in the past that I have had. Not that I didn't enjoy playing them then, it's just, this is a whole new ball game. That's why we're kind of really zipping down timelines and doing this or that with Zelda now. It's just easier to go with series in some ways of making a continuity. When you viewers watch one video, you kind of want to see another Let's Play of the same type. You come to my channel because of a Let's Play, and then you kind of want to see more Final Fantasy or more Zelda, and it's just the way YouTube works, I guess, in a way. It's just lucky that I like playing those games as well, but I do standalone games. The Last Story, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, stuff like that. It's not a thing I just don't do. I've done Pokemon Y just recently, so I do other games. It's just, you know, I like series as well. I said in the last video, it's my mentality. I love DVD series that are like 10 seasons long, already completed, so I can watch them through in one big... I like elongated stories quite a bit. Right, next question. Are your luxurious locks gone for good? If I wanted to grow it back, I don't think I could. Let's put it this way. Old age has this thing that comes along. My hair was never exactly full and luscious anyway. It was kind of a thin, long kind of... I don't think I'll ever go back to that. And I think there was a comment saying that I looked younger over the past 2 years since I cut my hair and all that. So, I guess... I think... Actually, it suits me a lot better to have short hair now than when it did was long hair. There's, like, other things that go with that. I mean, the next question, actually, that I've lined up here is actually a good thing. Why I had that haircut. It was more like a style, more musical than that. But yeah, I've done other things as well. Like, I'm trying to get fit. I do kung fu. I do insanity workout. I'm hoping that sets me up better for later life. But I think if I grew my hair back now, it would just be thin and horrible. When your hairline starts to recede, you kind of either go with it gracefully, or you just look silly. So I thought I'd go with it gracefully. I'm getting old. It's 28, man. Ugh. But still, what sort of music are you into, and what was the first game you remember playing? A double question there of two different things. What sort of music am I into? Rock, metal, a bit of punk, a bit of this, a bit of that. Along the lines of bands that play their own instruments, and so therefore pretty much hardly anything ever you'll see in the pop charts. Hardly anything you'll see that's electronically made, like the dubsteps and whatnot.
You like that Korn album?
I like that Korn album with a dubstep, the Korn kind of dubstep one. I like Korn, I like, well, a lot of stuff. I'm mellowing out with later age. I guess I say, oh, again, I'm so old, 28 only. But I just like a lot of, like, simple bands to quote, Foo Fighters, Rush, prog stuff. Listening to Opeth a little bit lately because my lovely lady likes Opeth massively. I just wonder, there's a Mastodon poster on the wall over there. Got an album or two of theirs. It's that kind of stuff I like, just all between these places. Let's put it that way. It's rock metal, that kind of thing. Sometimes you'll like the stuff that's good, you know what I mean. But other times, you know, I like the mellow, listen more to the instrumental side of it. That's more or less what kind of music I'm into. Yeah. Questions sorted. I have a few questions if that's alright. Oh no, you people with your multiple questions. First, what gaming systems do you have? Second, have you ever played the Kingdom Hearts series? Whenever this whole copyright thing gets sorted out, would you consider playing the games? You mean the Kingdom Hearts one, right. I think Becca's going to go get something here. There's something going on back there. Right. So, the first question. I've been distracted now. What gaming systems do I have? We have the GameCube, the PS1, I think. We have PS2, PS3, Xbox. We don't have a original Xbox, the big brick that it was. Becca's... Ow!
Here you are. You can hold mine, because you don't have one.
She has a massive Keyblade with the whole Mickey Mouse thing down here, made for her.
All
Can't
you
really...
have to do is get really good friends with a carpenter.
That's basically what you have to do. But yeah, I very much do like... Oh yeah, with gaming systems. Gaming systems distracted me. We got the Wii, the Wii U, 3DS. I think I've got a normal Game Boy Advance somewhere as well. I think I've got another normal Game Boy somewhere. Mega Drive somewhere. Yeah, I think that's all of them. There's quite a lot. Of course, PC as well. Can't think of any more games consoles than that. Yeah, we actually have, like, pretty much the whole spread over time. Like, so, yeah, that's all the systems I have. Kingdom Hearts series. I very much do like the Kingdom Hearts series. I really do. I played 1 and 2. I haven't played all the spin-offs or the extras. But, yeah, I really do like the Kingdom Hearts series. I'd love to do a Let's Play of it. The one reason I've been sticking away from it is not because of Square Enix, but is because of Disney and how they protect their copyright quite seriously. So I was always wondering if that would be okay to do as a Let's Play, and I don't know exactly what one controls so much of the IP from the game, if it's more Square Enix than Disney or anything like that. But I'd love to do Kingdom Hearts Let's Plays. It's just, yeah, getting in touch with Network and finding out what's okay to do. And most of the time, when you ask a network what's okay to do for Let's Plays, they actually say you'd have to take out all cutscenes. Well, yeah, all cutscenes. Anything that isn't you moving the character around, you're not allowed to have in your video. That's basically their bottom line. So Let's Plays wouldn't exist, more or less, if people were just like, well, we can't do that, because it's not a Let's Play if we do that. It's one of those silly... No, don't knock over the mic. It's one of those silly things. Right then, next one. What was your first real Zelda experience? Another Zelda question comes out. A different one. So, my first Zelda game was actually Ocarina of Time. I think I had played Link's Awakening before then, just a little bit, but the first Zelda game I actually owned was Ocarina of Time. I remember waiting for it for Christmas and stealing it from my parents' bedroom because they had it, I think it was about October or so. And they had it early because, of course, Ocarina of Time was going to sell out before then. It wasn't going to be there at Christmas. So I had to buy it early. I found it, and I was playing on it, and I remember saying to my parents or my mum that if there's a game file on it called Sam when we boot up for the first time on Christmas Day, that's just a demo file. And that's just there to, like, yeah, of course, complete lies, but that's my young brain thinking, oh, I'm going to get out of this by admitting that I've touched it, rather than just taking the game upstairs and not letting them see anything.
I did that with Final Fantasy VIII. I knew where they hid my Christmas presents and I was playing it in November.
It's just that kind of thing, you know, kids. We've all been one, or we are still one. That was my first Zelda experience, so there we go. Right. How did you enjoy the Mass Effect series, and if a Mass Effect 4 came out, would you play it? Mass Effect series was great. I'm not so jazzed on Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 2 was brilliant, and Mass Effect 3 I liked, which, if you ask Becca, she's going to go completely opposite from that.
Mass Effect 1 and 2 were the better games. Mass Effect 3, the final third, was the worst, atrocious. I don't know how they could actually put that out as a game. I know I'm one of these whining, entitled people, but I think something must have happened behind closed doors for them to release it as that was. They either ran out of money, ran out of time, but they had to bodge it.
Yeah, she loved that series insanely and felt that the end was just a kick in the proverbials.
I gave away a lot of my Mass Effect merchandise. That's how annoyed I was.
But yeah, I enjoyed them. I didn't like the Mako section so much on Mass Effect 1 because I was rubbish at them. But yeah, I like that series. I wonder what Mass Effect 4 would be. And you say if a Mass Effect 4 came out, but I'm pretty sure... Don't you think, Becca, a Mass Effect 4 is coming out?
It won't be called Mass Effect 4, though, because it's not going to be around Shepard. And it'll probably have transactions where you have to pay for things in-game, and it'll have more of the EA stuff that's been coming in lately, so feel free to boycott it if you want to.
Yeah, she's very strong on the subject there. Very strong on the Mass Effect. Should we move on to another question? Yeah, I did enjoy it, and of course my relationship with Garrus.
I agree with.
My best friend forever.
If Garrus is real, I'd leave you in a heartbeat.
Oh, so harsh. Right, moving on completely. Hey Ollers, Have you ever had voice training in the past? Because you mentioned you are a thespian way back in Twilight Princess. Just curious because I had some speaking training myself, and it sounds like you have too, and I love it. No, I have not had any speaking training, any voice training whatsoever, and I'm not a thespian. It's just more like, you know, me joking, because of course I do all the dramatic stuff and that. It's just natural, I guess, if it is anything at all. It's just when you... well... again, listen to me when I started off YouTube versus now. It's getting more used to doing YouTube, commentating, and projecting voice, enunciating everything, pronouncing it properly, or mostly, in my case, like subtle instead of subtle, which is correct. I was expecting Becca to look at me going, ugh.
I've given up.
She's given up now. But yeah, no, I've had no voice training or anything like that. Good question, though. How do you get your voice like that when you commentate a witch or something? Thank you. There's no way I can really say how I get a voice like that. It's not from the nose or anything like that. It's just... I guess my vocal range is pretty high in general, really. Not so manly man, more like... you know, it's just there. It's just something I can always reach. I mean, you know, people do impressions and whatnot, and you can't do that. I can't do that many impressions, but there's always voices that people have that can sound like this or that. I mean, if you take an example of, like, the Emperor from Star Wars, I'm pretty sure most people can do a somewhat Emperor from Star Wars kind of voice, like... oh, no, I've completely messed up now. When you try to do an impression properly, it doesn't work anymore. That's one of the things about impressions, at least for me. It's like, now come to the dark side of the Force. That's rubbish, but it was, you know, you get a kind of simile. It was just there anyway, the witch voice. So, yeah, I got to bring it out, I guess. I guess I should go into Panto and do like, oh no, there she isn't. Oh, that's Punch and Judy. Not Panto, but whatever. Okay, moving on. This is getting awkward. If you could be any celebrity, who would you be? None of them, because they sound like, even though they've got tons of money, they have a hard life being chased around by paparazzi and their privacy is invaded and whatnot. I don't think I'd like that much. The money, maybe, but still, the celebrity life doesn't seem exactly that much appealing. I mean, there are certain people out there that really strive for fame, and some people that are just quite happy with their lot in life, and I guess that's kind of a bit more me. Okay, another question. Hello, Oz. Will you only play established game series, or if you see a brand new series like brand new, never seen before game with no connection to any other game? Did I just cover this? Oh my goodness, have I done that already? Yes, I think I have. Whoopsie, let's keep going. Trying not to cover questions I've already covered, if you know what I mean, because there's a lot of questions that you guys have asked that I might not be able to answer your question completely, if you know what I mean, like dead on to your question. But a lot of questions overlap, just like little bits or here and there, so I'm sorry for skipping your question, or I skip your question, but that's just, you know, there's questions answered. There's so many people asking the same questions. Right. Oh, here's another one along the lines. Hi, Ollers. Do you ever think that you'll run out of games that interest you enough to do a Let's Play of them? No, because there's tons of games from my past, like just sitting over there, that I'd love to do games, or gameplays of. Tons of games from relatively now that I'd love to do gameplays of, and it's just getting through them all and being able to do it in a fast fashion is just not really possible for me, at the very least. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever run out of games that interest me, and there's always more games that interest me that are being released. I mean, there's games like Final Fantasy 13-3, Final Fantasy 15, blah blah blah. You can name them off the hat. There's the next Legend of Zelda coming out and whatnot, so yeah. Never ever gonna be. Since you played World of Warcraft, what race class did you play? Vanilla WoW, a human male paladin. Burning Crusade, a Draenei female shadow priest. Rattler Lich King, a female Draenei, because it ended up as my favourite kind of race choice. Death Knight. There's a bit lore in that, where the shadow priest became a Death Knight, you know, die, blah blah blah, you know, role playing. But still. Those are the classes I play, and I quit up in Rattler Lich King. We recently played a little bit again. I played a Worgen Warrior just for a little bit. But yeah, WoW was a weird time for me. I played it really, really hardcore, really like high up ranking wise, and I never want to go back there properly, because man, did my life get sucked away there. But I really did enjoy it in the early incarnations. I'm one of those hardcore guys where it's like, oh, I hate the modern day game because it's so like, do this in 2 seconds, get massive reward, and no effort or no work. Whereas people are like, well, now I can have a life. And I'm like, yes, you can, which is great. But I so love the time where there was like, you went into Warsong Gulch, and there was, they just started the PvP, and there was the horrible rank 14 grind, but it was horrible, and you had to spend all day doing it to get a little bit of gear, and there was like only a few people around with like epic item on, and those times were magical. The formation of an MMO, the formative time, is often more magical than the rest of it put together. Just when everyone's finding their feet, and stuff like World PvP is around, rather than it all going to battlegrounds, tar and mill fights and stuff like that. Those were the times I remember. So I'm like one of those hardcore guys that kind of doesn't like the modern incarnation or where it was going from there. It's weird that, especially when they got the hard modes put in and all that. It seems to be, but would have been good for me, but still. Right, will you be recording any Wii U games like Super Mario Bros. U or Super Luigi U? And if you are, will you be on Miiverse? I imagine I might already be on Miiverse. I mean, we do have accounts, I guess, but yeah, doing Wii U Let's Plays. Well, the future Zelda coming out. There was this time where I toyed with doing Rayman, like ramen, Rayman Origins. Is it Origins?
No, that's
Legends.
cool. Yeah.
Legends. That's the one that came out. But no, we're waiting. Problem with a new console coming out, even if it's not a new console anymore, it's been out for a year, is that games don't take a long time to trickle forward and outward and come around, and it's a lot to wait for good games to come out on it when I've got a backlog of games that I kind of want to commentate and do. It's a problem, that, but of course doing new 3DS games with a link between worlds and all that, so it's not like I'm not doing some new games and some old games, or trying to mix it about. Birk. You might know Birk because he's the guy who pretty much made a comment about bananas for a lot of my Zelda Let's Plays, has 10 questions. So, Mr. Birk, who's hogging the questions, okay, Olis, you probably saw this coming. Let's get through this quick. But what are your opinions on bananas? They make good protein shake taste. Well done, Becca.
Yay!
Because all the fitness stuff, the protein, good. But yeah, I don't really like bananas so much on their own, but banana milkshake's cool. I guess the flavour. Oh no, he's going to hate me forever now. I don't like bananas that much. What happened with your drumming and all? Split up, moving, not enough space for a drum kit, and, well, in a flat system, you kill everyone and everyone want to kill you because you were playing drums. What's that face about?
I just got a 6IV one.
Oh, Becca just got a 6IV Proki.
Yay!
Protein.
Yes.
Protein, 6IV Proki. Yeah. Live here, 6IV Protein was born. But yeah, so basically I haven't been keeping up with it or anything like that, but I still remember what I did, so I still remember, like, the kind of moves for songs like CKY 96 Quite Bitter Beings. I love a bit of CKY me! But yeah, I just don't have the space to play at the moment. Maybe it's something I'll resume in later life. I still do the rock band drums, though, for funsies. Question 3, apples or oranges? Apple juice. What's the first thing that comes in your mind when I say streptocock? Strep throat, isn't it? Streptococcus strep throat. Sore throat? Yeah? Did you answer to my previous question? Sadly. Ha! That's question on number 5 didn't make much sense now, doesn't it? No, that was question 6, was it? It didn't make much sense. What's the number 1 game of 2013? A Link Between Worlds. Ha! Good. Right, got through that one. Whew. Where did you get your well-hatted turret? Eurogamer Expo 2012? And it's gaining. It's gaining. It's gaining extra items. Show us your cat. No question, actually. Cats must be. Becca's like, oh no, I'm gonna have to do stuff. I didn't even tell you to do it. Beck, look what you made happen. Have you ever seen a duckle, then another duck... Oh, have you seen a duck, I think that means. Then another duck comes up to him, then you hear a quack from behind and get a hardcore jump scare out of it. No. Have you? I'm guessing you have by reading that. But still... I'm guessing Becca's having problems getting the cat. Thank you for answering the more technical questions. If YouTube behaves itself, what are your most eagerly awaited games of 2014? Tales of Zillia 2, Final Fantasy 13-3. Pretty much sequel-itis going on there. Oh, here comes the cat.
Oh, she's so grumpy.
Is she?
Yeah, she just got pulled off the wardrobe. Oh, poor kitty.
She's got a new place where it's high on the wardrobe so she can watch the humans go, "Pity about my pets." She's kind of like that. But yeah, definitely Final Fantasy 13-3, I really want to know how the story ends. At Tales of Zillia 2, I really want to play that and continue the story. And you never know, I doubt there'll be a Tales of Zillia... Actually, if there was a Tales of Zillia 3, it would have already been out by now because of how delayed the games are from getting from Japan to the West. But still, it'd be nice to find out how that story goes. Right. What time are we at now? Oh my goodness, 26 minutes again. Time for one more question, I think. Man, getting through these is just insane. Others, it's true that you don't have too large of a fan base, but it's still a really loyal one, and I love that. And I consider that pretty lucky, and I do too. What part of the Triforce do you hold? Becca, what would you think that I'd hold out of courage, wisdom, and power?
Doesn't matter, you drop all of them.
I drop all of them. There we go. There's your answer. I'd like to think wisdom, but we know that's not... Yeah, she's laughing. Becca's laughing. It's definitely not power.
Do they have an effeminate one?
Yeah, I'd hold the Triforce of effeminate man. Obviously. Thank you, Becca. I like you too. Oh, actually, one more question. Question about sub-battles, because then I can clear this up. Would you play it against people who aren't on your friends list? Because I just got the game on Christmas, and although you did show your friend code, it doesn't show you as a friend for me, because you have to give me your friend code. But at the moment, I do have all 100 slots full, which is a problem. Either I did it wrong, or you have the max amount of friends. Probably the latter one, but either way, it doesn't register unless we both enter our codes. But yes, I want to do it with more than just the friends I have on there, so I probably have to cycle out some people and cycle in people to be able to battle them. Or... I guess there might be other ways, but I'll have to explore that a bit more. But I do intend to play a lot of people, and get people who aren't currently on my friends list as well, because I know there's more than 100 subs out there with 3DSs and Pokemon, I'm pretty sure. So that's going to be it for this part of the Q&A. Man, we're going to have to continue this on for more parts, and I'm getting more questions. Whew. But here we go. Another vlog done, another Q&A part done. I'll see you next time for even more questions and answers. Bye-bye.